One of Africa's most dangerous countries, Somalia is rebuilding with business and tourism picking up as security improves. The two-decade war might have crashed government structures and learning institutions and has caused heavy death toll and maiming, but business is still alive and healthy in Mogadishu. With the security situation improving every day, Somalia's tourism is also getting back its confidence. Somali expatriates are returning home in great numbers.
There's a lot of people coming back here now. It's probably the safest time to be in Somalia. There's a lot going on. People are here to rebuild again and to bring our country back together.
Preparing myself to, to take part in the investment of my country and take part also, the reconstruction and the development of Somalia.
Although the 21-year-long civil war destroyed most of the buildings in the city, people can still catch a glimpse of the city's previous beauty. Local businesses are still flourishing, seemingly little affected by the country's financial situation. The Bakara market is Mogadishu's trade center, almost the largest economic zone in the entire country. Bakara's fine gold and ornaments are great temptations to any foreigner. Bakara's gold is cheaper than Nairobi or Dubai due to minimal or no taxation at all. Away from the business district, there is the lure of the blue waters of the Indian Ocean. Many youth have started to enjoy the beach of Mogadishu and hope tourists will be filling up the beach in the future.
My name is Mohammed Sahal. I'm very happy to be relaxing at Jazeera Beach after 20 years of civil war in my country.
Somali businessmen are happy with the resilience of their customers, saying the Somali people get used to changes with ease and have been able to do their shopping even amid exchanges between warring factions. Now, Mr. Michael Shank, Director of Foreign Policy at the Friends Committee on National Legislation, has just returned from Somalia. Mr. Shank, welcome to Africa 54.
Thanks for having me.
How was it like being in Somalia?
It was incredible.
Yeah.
The West, the only images the West gets about Somalia is the terrorism, the fighting, the violence. But in fact, in Mogadishu, there was lots of business.
Tell us very
activities.
specifically some of the areas of attraction that a person who goes into Somalia today can actually visit.
Well, it has the longest coastline on the continent, so the beaches are teeming with people, hundreds of people on the beaches. I was on those beaches. So certainly there's the tourism of the coast and the fisheries there, fresh lobster. I'm a vegetarian, but the fresh lobster from the ocean is delicious. But a lot of new restaurants. The Somali diaspora, as your clip mentioned, are coming back in the hundreds and setting up businesses. They're very entrepreneurial. So life is getting back to normal in Mogadishu.
Most people think that everybody's walking around ducking bullets or so terrified of a bomb and car explosions. Did you feel that sense of fear as you walked around?
Didn't feel the sense of fear. People were returning to normal. Certainly think about it, because when I flew into Mogadishu, there were some explosions as I was flying through Istanbul. But when I arrived there, I was there for 8 days. No explosions, no violence. I wasn't ducking bullets. And in fact, I was walking about the streets throughout the city like a normal citizen might.
Now, when you think of tourism, people think about a zoo and a game park, or perhaps some sites of old buildings. Did you see any of such?
Well, that's where the West can come in, because our support of Somalia has primarily been military, supporting the African Union mission, not really supporting the Somali National Security Forces. We need to do that. The pay inequity is pretty big. It's $100 per soldier per month versus $1,500 for Amazon. But Somalia has this incredible infrastructure that was destroyed in the Civil War. We could help socioeconomic development in the country. We haven't done that. State Department's not doing that. Private business in the West isn't doing that. That's where we need to invest in a partnership way, not in a parental way, but in a partnership way.
Now, some have said that, perhaps the government of Somalia doesn't actually have control beyond the city of Mogadishu. Is that true?
It's not true. There's certain parts of the country that are still under the control of the Shabab, but part of the agenda is you build out Mogadishu, make it a safe zone, make private business possible, support the central bank, support financial institutions, support the government's agenda in rebuilding infrastructure, and then you just grow from there. So slowly you take over city by city in providing people alternatives. There were so many youth wandering throughout the city, unemployed, aimless, and listless. These are the people throughout the country who are being recruited by Shabab for nothing more than a cell phone. So let's give them jobs in rebuilding Mogadishu.
Were you the only white guy at the beach?
I was the only white guy at the beach. I was the only white guy through much of the city because the West primarily is cordoned off at the airport, bunkered. Yeah.
But pretty much, life is going on, business is going on as usual in most parts of Mogadishu.
Absolutely.
Okay. So your call is the West should come in, help
support in a partnership way, socioeconomic development.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Well, Michael Shank, thanks a lot for joining us today. Now, we want to know what you think about Africa 54. Join the conversation on Facebook. The address is VOA Africa 54. Check out our headlines 24/7 on voaafrica.com.